the best players and some of the best players on planet Earth. Like, that's a real opportunity, honor, whatever you want to call it. It may not be friendly when the night's over in terms of where you sit on the scoreboard, but it is a great opportunity for them to be involved in a game like this.
It's going to be a big chance for them to say something to their grandkids later on that I played in the ISC World Tournament against the #1 team.
Matthew Waugh, who has been a 7-time all-world player at this event, including a second-teamer 1 year ago in Surrey, longtime outfielder with Canada's national team as well. The 36-year-old from Saint-Gervais, Quebec, will lead things off. I would say his numbers were quite astounding a year ago. In Surrey, he batted .529, 9 for 17 with a double, a triple, and 5 runs batted in. And facing Brewer, who misses just outside with the game's first pitch. Glad to have you with us, no matter where you might be tuning in from. And as Joe and I were discussing off the air, you just never know. It's a big audience with a lot of players from many countries in our world.
Well, the game earlier today, the 12:30 game between the Bear Creek Express and the Grass Valley Greens, it was a 6-6 ball game, and Grass Valley had the potential winning runs on second and third in the 6th inning.
Well, sports is the greatest theater on earth, and
I call it the best reality television show there is.
That's a good one, too. I like that as well. That was a nice change of pace from Anthony Brewer. Gets the ball from head coach. He's also at first base, and Tom Youngbauer. And it can be a real adjustment, too, for the favored team versus pitching that maybe they're not quite used to. And again, the reality is what the reality is.
Yeah. You just have to watch the ball leave his hip, pick it up, swing the bat. Sounds simple, doesn't it?
Oh, it is not simple. I think it's as hard a skill as there is in all of sport. As Brewer misses down to Matthew Waugh. He had a day for the ages for Canada at the World Cup in Prince Albert, as he's played in every World Cup going back to the year 2015 for his country. Was 3 for 4 in a game against Australia with 3 home runs and 8 runs batted in. 7 for 16 was Matthew at the World Cup, and just 1 shy of Blake Hunter for the tournament lead and runs batted in with 10. Shortstop, Nick Avran to retire speedy Matthew Waugh with the game's first out, as he slings it over there in time.
Watching the replay down, he goes down and gets it and stays low.
Bit of a sidearm delivery, but it's effective.
Did get the out.
That's all that matters. They don't ask how in a lot of cases, it's how many.
And you're looking for 21 of them.
You are looking for 21. If you could force this team tonight for all 21, we've got a story, Joe Todd. And a massive one is Ben Anoka, the 34-year-old from Auckland, New Zealand. He's an 8-time all-world player at this event, including last year. He batted .444 in Surrey, 8 for 18 with a double, 2 home runs, and 8 runs batted in. Anoka, a solid 5 for 15 in helping the Gremlins win the USA National Major Men's Softball title last weekend in Oklahoma City. It's been a bit of a grind, Joe, for the top players in the world. When you think about Prince Albert, Oklahoma City, to now the beginning of the ISC World Tournament.
Very busy summer.
And that's elite level
Yes.
play every single weekend. And there are a lot of weekends during the course of what I would call a regular club season. This is not one of those.
You just wonder how these guys get time off from their jobs. They're either self-employed or they have very nice bosses that let them get away on a Friday morning or Thursday night.
It's true. Well, Brewers change up, did not miss the mark by much, throwing to catcher Gabriel 3, like the number. So Anoka on with a one-out walk, and here's the guy, and I say it every time I call one of his games. He was born to play this sport. Cole Evans, just 26, which is somewhat astounding when I think about watching him in Saskatoon at the 2015 World Cup. Ball came back off the backstop quickly, but not quickly enough to deal with Ben Anoka. Cole Evans, just 26. Longtime member of the New Zealand national team. And he does pretty much everything technically sound. This is a hard hit ball. And Kareem Kamano does well to come up with it at the hot corner and throw out Cole Evans. And there are two away.
Good play by Kareem Karen. Now, if anything, he might have looked him back again. Letting that runner advance over to third base could be costly.
The dangerous, and they're all dangerous in this lineup. It's a lot like Hill United's lineup. They're all dangerous. But this guy, even though he struggled by his own standards last weekend in Oklahoma City, he packs a wallop. And the one thing about the 31-year-old Eric Ochoa is in the designated player role in this game, plays a lot of first base for the Gremlins. Joe, most of the time, he swings right out of his shoes. He's not cheated ever. Has a good eye, longtime member of the United States national men's team, and was at the recently completed World Cup where the United States won a bronze medal in Prince Albert.
Brewer way up in the count now, 2 strikes.
This pitch, if it was me, would be nowhere near the strike zone. That's a good 0-2 pitch.
Yep.
I think most coaches or anyone very ingrained in the game, 0-2 base hits will keep you up at night.
Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
It happens more than often than it probably should. Ochoa on that Anthony Brewer changeup, which has good spin on it, fouled it away. Eric batted .350 at last year's ISC World Tournament. It was 7 for 20, 2 doubles, 3 home runs, and an impressive 10 runs batted in. He was a first-team All-World player, his third All-World selection. And again, a big swing. And how about that?
Yep.
That's a great beginning for the St. Paul Grey Ducks. Give up a walk, no hits, no runs. The Gremlins will take the field when we return on night number 2 of the ISC World Tournament on your ISC World Tournament streaming network. And of course, without the great folks at Softball Premier TV, this does not come your way.
Called strike 3, the outside corner. They worked out of that. Yeah. High in the air, Viavazo comes to get it, and the Chiefs are back to the top of the mountain. The gloves fly. The celebration is underway.
Head coach Greg Leather gives the ball in the Bear Creek Gremlins opener to a newcomer with the team. He played for AWP, the Lumberjacks, 1 year ago. And there is the batting order for the St. Paul Grey Ducks. And I would like to tell you that my crack research team of one has a lot on this group. I do not.
They are going to surprise us.
Well, it started pretty well.
Yes.
Cody Gibbons pitched 4 innings in Oklahoma City last weekend. It was in their first game against OPVS in a 15-1 shortened game. He's also a member of the United States national team, number 76. And whether you're the Gremlins or Team USA, you're hoping that this youngster is just on the rise.
Yeah, he just wants to be on the up-and-coming stars of the game.
Has good velocity. That one at 78.
He just needs time on the mound in this style of game.
The reps matter, don't they?
Yes.
Nick Avran. Don't think you see a lot of this in the St. Paul local league. Just a guess. You might have back in the day.
Yeah. Happy chef.
Yeah. Well, Cody Gibbons strikes out Nick Avran and brings Leo Dunham to the plate, who's from St. Paul, as the majority of players are all from Minnesota. I think there's a couple of exceptions. In fact, I know there is. Not a lot of ISC World Tournament experience on this group. A couple of players have played, including the leadoff batter who actually played in 2023 for Marcio Sausage. This is fouled away by Leo Dunham from St. Paul.
Cody Gibbons also had some time on the mound for the Marcio Sausage a few years back.
He did indeed. Last year was with AWP. Quality rise to get Dunham. Back-to-back strikeouts to open the game. Tom Youngbauer, who's also listed, I believe, as the team's coach and first baseman.
And bus driver?
I don't know. Like I said, Joe.
That research team
the
failed you.
Well, it's a good research team. I'd put it up against most.
Yeah.
And it certainly isn't for lack of effort.
No, by no means.
But yes, it was a chore. But sometimes at a certain point, it can also make your life a little easier. Even though I have been told once in a while that I've made the odd thing up. The strike to Youngbauer. Spin, late movement, location, so critical when you're pitching in this sport. As Gibbons really jumps off to one side. You are supposed to, and it's always for a lot of pitchers, you have to remain in contact with the rubber with that front foot. And he is. And he also has struck out the 3 that he's dealt with. So, tough go for the Grey Ducks offensively. Their first defensive inning was excellent. We'll see if they can repeat it in inning number 2. You're watching the ISC World Tournament from Mankato, Minnesota.
This business was opened in 1965 by my father, Ned Mattiossi. Could have walked in here 25, 30 years ago and seen just about the same thing. The process of making a suit takes about 6 weeks. It goes through about 12 or 13 hands as it's moved along the line. It's an old-time place. Making stuff from scratch here in the city at a reasonable cost. It's a very personal type of business.
Look at the Caswell softball complex from Luciano's drone, and is it a rumor or is it true that maybe the drone has seen better days?
Oh, was the drone gone? 3 for 3?
I think the drone has seen better days.
The drone has a new world record.
In working with Mr. Lafrano for the last couple of years, that drone, and it has friends, they don't seem to last very long. The shelf life's a little short, Joe. The problem is the expense is not.
No.
So it has provided those, as we call in the television business, the beauty shots, but not so beauty when Donnie Drone ends up in a neighborhood that he should not. And I'm going to strictly blame it on a man, because if a woman was in charge, they wouldn't go away quite so quickly. They'd be a lot more efficient and would hang around a lot longer. We, as men,
sometimes the rules slip.
A lot of things slip. Lucio Retamar is the batter, the fine right fielder out of Argentina. He made a name for himself, Joe, in many ways at last year's ISC World Tournament. The youngster from Argentina, just 25. I think you can, in this sport, say that you're relatively young. He's right on the cusp.
Yep.
At 25, really coming into his own. He was solid for the Gremlins at the USA Nationals last weekend. 4 for 9 with a home run and 5 runs batted in. Hit 400 at the ISC World Tournament last year. And that netted him his first all-world team.
Great week out in Surrey.
Not a great start. How about the work of Anthony Brewer early in the game?
First strikeout, though, for Brewer, but had a pretty clean first inning other than that walk, but stranded that runner at third base.
Abiardo Panuelos, little tap for our home plate umpire, Daryl Helmer from Airdrie, Alberta, just outside of Calgary.
That's to the north of Calgary?
It is to the north, yes, on the way to Edmonton.
Closer to the airport, isn't it?
Very close to the airport.
Yeah.
Yes. Not that I've spent any time in Calgary or at the Calgary airport,
No,
Joe.
I bet you have not. You probably know where every nook and cranny is out there.
I pretty much do. I can't say that completely about Airdrie because I spent time there, but I've never lived there. But I've driven through there about 7,000 times. That I can tell you.
I have good friends that live out there.
It's a nice spot. Abiardo Panuelos is not from Airdrie, Alberta. Talk about another player starting to come into his own. It's number 19 from Mexicali, Mexico. 4 for 10 at the USA Nationals last weekend. And a very solid 5 for 16 at the 2024 ISC. And guess who delivers the first hit? And he never even thought about stopping.
Green light.
Green light indeed for speedy Abiardo Panuelas. I have to ask Luciano what the Spanish word is for fast. Rapido. That was 100% muy rapido. Now I'm going to add that all the time, by the way.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't I? A double by Panuelas. You don't see a lot of doubles like that one.
No. The ball only went maybe 30 feet on the grass.
And he knew he was headed there when it left its bat. Brian Avery, the 38-year-old from Richmond, British Columbia. Another longtime member of the Gremlins and the Canadian national team. And one of the things you have to love about Brian is his versatility. And gets into this one. Not quite deep enough. I think the wind, Joe, has changed direction.
Yeah.
In the last game between Hill United and the Junkyard Dogs, that might have left the yard. But it did not. In this case, it's a long flyout for out number 2 off the bat of Brian Avery.
Yeah, you see the flag coming in and blowing out, coming in from right field.
Veteran catcher Nick Mullins. Nick's not shy on intensity.
No.
Or another I word, intelligence.
A great baseball, softball IQ.
Yeah, he's one of the best receivers in the world. Has been for a long time. He's 39. Change up again from Brewer, who's given up the one hit. The shallow double, as we'll call it. That one wouldn't have left your paddling pool. As Panuelas showed great speed. Mullins looking to cash him in and shows a good eye. I have a lot of respect for this player. His approach to each and every pitch at bat. Was 1 for 7 last weekend in Oklahoma City. Anthony Brewer wearing number 99. Which, Joe, is never that popular in another sport we're quite fond of.
Yeah.
That being hockey. And by the way, this is the state of hockey in the United States. So they're very familiar with the game in these parts. In fact, today, didn't have a chance to walk in there. Should have at least tried, although I was told it was locked. But right at our facility where the Hall of Fame breakfast was held, you go through a certain doors, and that's the home of the Minnesota State Mavericks.
Oh, very cool.
Mm.
Well, high school hockey down here is just...
I've been to 2 state tournaments.
Yeah.
It's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like football in Texas.
A little bit, not to that extent. I've been to that.
On a Friday night.
Yeah, well, that's just every Friday night in high school football in Texas. A few years ago on a Calgary Flames road trip, I was able to go to the final day of the Texas High School State Championships at the Jerry Dome in front of only close to 60,000. Other than that, Joe, nobody was interested. No. Nick Mullins isn't interested in that. Maybe he is. And that ball, that's a tough break for the Grey Ducks. And it's going to score the Gremlins' first run as Nick Mullins hit it hard. And looking forward to seeing the replay. I was kind of blocked out as to exactly where this ball went. It had to have gone off a glove. No, off a foot. And it's too bad because it might have been directly at the shortstop.
Yeah.
But instead, probably has to be scored an RBI single. I would think. There's no way on earth you can charge an error
no,
there.
I know. No.
Even the hardest scorer on planet Earth. Like, we need to have a chat if that's an error. Another speedster, Tani Mumu is the batter, hitting in the number 9 spot, starting at second base. The 21-year-old from Hutt Valley in New Zealand. He played for New Zealand. Silver medal winning effort at the World Cup. He is just starting to scratch the surface. There's about 6 guys in the sport that I would like to watch in a 60-yard dash. This guy is one of them.
Yes.
Nick White, Luciano Biondi, Alan Pecker.
We could have our own 4x100 relay.
Panuelos. And they're not alone. There are others. You know, it was interesting. Did the game last night, the first one, the Sandlot Merchants game against STK, maybe my second. But the name Ryan Bicknell kept coming back, and I'm like, I've seen this guy. I know this guy. And he's from Saskatchewan, and he's going to play for Canada at the U23 Pan American Championships. And he's acquitting himself very nicely this year with STK.
Very good.
And the reason I bring him up is because he's another guy who gets down the baseline in a hurry. Just like the guy at home plate, Tani Mumu, who was 3 for 7 at the World Cup, had 3 at-bats officially for the Gremlins last weekend in Oklahoma City. He was 1 for 3 with a double and 2 runs batted in their opening game 50-1 triumph over OPVS. And Joe, don't ask me what it stands for. I'm not sure. And they're not at the World Tournament. 32 teams started play yesterday in hopes of capturing the crown. One of the teams who figures to be front and center come championship Saturday on the diamond right now, but they're having to work for it.
Yes, they
early
are.
in the game against the St. Paul Grey Ducks. And Anthony Brewer is spinning a pretty good couple of innings. The starting pitcher, number 99.
We should have a lot of people watching over in New Zealand. It'd be around noon hour on Monday right now. Thank you for staying with us.
Yes. And the pride of Pine Ridge, South Dakota, Anthony Brewer. That's 2 really good innings against as good a hitting team as there is in the business. But they do scratch out one. It's 1-0 Gremlins as we head to the bottom of the second here from Mankato. St. Paul Grey Ducks coming to bat against Cody Gibbons, who struck out the first 3 batters that he dealt with. And this would be an area for this group, too, where it's a different class of pitching. It could be Besgrove.
Yes.
It is not tonight. That would be an education unto itself, but this team's kind of scrappy. I like what they've done early in the game, especially Anthony Brewer. And they've made a couple of plays in behind him when they've had to, so.
But teams, they know this is one of the top teams. And they're going to have to work hard, and they have so far.
Gibbons with a rise ball as he tries to stretch out that right pitching arm. And now takes a look at the wristband. And a drop ball for a strike to the left fielder, number 1, Dan Merkel, who's from Minneapolis. Gibbons to the rise that time, swung on and missed.
Took a little bit off that pitch, too. Real nice.
So the Gremlins with a good staff, obviously led by one of the best in the world in 21-year-old Jack Besgrove. Very impressed last weekend, especially in the championship final. It's a true double knockout format at the USA Men's Major National Championship. So Hill United and the Gremlins met 3 different times, and it required Game 3 to decide the winner. And Osichka came on in relief and gave them 4 fabulous innings in the 6-4 victory as Hill United knocked Besgrove out of the games back-to-back in that final.
And that was a tough Sunday, too. That was like a hot oven down there.
Fortunately, I wasn't in the easy bake portion of the park. I don't know if you've ever been to Devon Park, Joe, but
No.
I highly recommend it.
It's on the bucket list.
It is special. On the ground, Panuelos for 1. A nice turn by Mumu, who has a strong throwing arm and unable to double up Robbie Schwankel.
Good wheels by Schwankel getting down that line.
The second baseman for the Grey Ducks, who's on the fielder's choice as Merkel is retired 5-4. And a big cut from Karim Camano from Mexicali in Mexico. Unfortunately, that ball didn't hit somebody in our bleachers. That could have been very nasty. Gibbons, this one popped in the air, and they won't get it. Again, that ball just seemed to absolutely die.
Ran into the old Bermuda Triangle out there.
So a bloop base hit, first of the game off of Gibbons. And the Grey Ducks, trailing by 1, have 2 on and only 1 out here in the second. Jason Kruger, a swing and a miss. He's from St. Paul. Or pardon me, that's Jetson, not Jason. Jetson Kruger. For those of us of a certain vintage.
I remember the Jetsons.
Come on, George. I almost did it.
Yeah,
You know,
go for it.
I know I did it once today. I'm not humming or going with any form of musical reference. But it's hard not to think about the Jetsons without that theme. Jetson Kruger can think about swinging at a high pitch for strike 3. And there's 2 away as Cody Gibbons has his 4 strikeout. And this one, a valuable one. Gabriel 3 is the batter. He's from San Bernardino, California. Went 3 for 7 in the 2023 ISC World Tournament as a member of the Northwest Braves. He was 2 for 4 with a double in a game against Stoneyard, and 1 for 3 versus the Ohio Bombers. And how he'd like a hit here to potentially tie the game. But Gibbons and the Gremlins will have something to say about that as they lead it 1-0 in the bottom of the second. The reigning champion, Hill United Chiefs, with a 9-0 victory in their opener tonight over the Davenport, Iowa Junkyard Dogs, who could be from Prague or Copenhagen with their roster here. I think they have 4 players from Czechia on their group. There's the work of Nick Mullins.
Just a natural pickup on that scoop.
And not his first, I might add.
Yes.
Or will be his last. As Gibbons checks, gets the sign and delivers. And popped high in the air. And in this complex of 4 diamonds in close proximity, if you are in the concourse area or walkway, however you want to phrase it, you need to keep your head on a swivel.
Yes.
Even when you're up here, we've had 2 balls come flying in here tonight, as there's the block by Mullins to keep the runners at second and first respectively. It's such an advantage, Joe, as a pitcher, when you know that even when you miss, throw a ball in the dirt, like, it just makes you a lot better.
Oh, yes, confidence-wise.
And that's not the case all the time. And that one cloud that we can see, and it actually makes for a beautiful television shot.
Mm-hmm.
It may not be so lovely later. As some weather looks to be closing in. Rich Haldane, who does such incredible work for the ISC, he was playing meteorologist earlier today. He does it all. Pitches, schedules. Just a great guy. As the bases are walked full. As Gabriel Tree draws a 2-out walk. Ryan Stanley, the center fielder, has himself an opportunity. And now I can smell some rain.
Yes, getting closer.
First time that the nose found the smell. We might not be here much longer, Joe. The weather was supposed to hit, according to Mr. Haldane, in the 9:30 neighborhood.
He's not too far off.
It might reach us a little before that. As Gibbons, in a tension-type scenario.
Gibbons has thrown 35 pitches so far in the game.
Bases loaded, 2 out for the Grey Ducks. There's the Gremlins dugout, providing a little more encouragement in their first difficult situation. Swing and a miss, but this is trouble, and it's going to score a run. Nick Mullins knew immediately, Joe, he had no play at first, so he looked towards home for a flip. But no one there. And the Grey Ducks have tied the game on a strikeout. Well, that's always an odd one for the scorebook. And the bases remain loaded.
Well, the pitcher gets credit for the strikeout, and it's an E2 to Mullins.
Although that was a difficult
Yes.
play for Nick. So Nick Oren is the batter. Squibber. And it'll stay foul. Every once in a while I've seen balls like that spin back from foul to fair territory. Doesn't happen a lot, but I've certainly seen it a few times over the years. That just means you've been around for a while. So the St. Paul Grey Ducks have drawn even. Gibbons ends the threat with his 5th strikeout of the game, but not before St. Paul ties it. It's 1-1, headed to the 3rd here in Mankato.
Let's talk about a local one-stop shop. Live Well for Life is just that, a fitness, nutrition, and therapy facility all under one roof. Located at 3878 Wellington Street in Mitchell, Ontario, you can get so much done in just one visit. A full complement of staff on hand include chiropractic, massage, and personal training to get you back to your healthy self. Find them on the web at livewellforlifeinc.com or give
Live Well for Life, a proud sponsor of the broadcast program.
The St. Paul Grey Ducks have drawn even with the Bear Creek Gremlins.
Who would have known it?
Why they play them, Joe?
Yeah, that's why you put the game on the score sheet and you play it.
It was an interesting way of manufacturing a run.
Yeah.
That did include one base hit, a walk, and what tied the game was a swinging strike that was a pitch down and away, would have been a ball, and gave Nick Mullins no chance to catch it. So we're all tied at 1 is Matthew Waugh, the leadoff batter, starts things for the Gremlins. Hits the changeup past Tom Youngbauer, and there he goes without any hesitation.
Good aggressive base running.
Matthew Waugh with a leadoff double. And what the last half inning can do for a beyond heavily favored team is go, all right, fellas.
Let's regroup.
Let's
refocus.
Let's dial it up a couple of notches. But you understand how it can happen.
Oh, yes.
And as I said earlier, with the teams filled, as the Gremlins are, with world-class players who have played in high-leverage events the last 2 weekends, I'm sorry, you're only human when you look at the schedule. Like it's hard to be at that same mental mindset. Now, I don't want to take anything away from Anthony Brewer because he's done a nice job keeping this.
Kept them contained.
He has kept them contained, and to this point, it's not like they've made any mistakes defensively either. Is Ben Anoka, the terrific center fielder. Looks like he's way up in the count, and he is as I take a look at our home plate umpire's hands. 3 balls and no strikes, and would not be surprised if he has the green light here. Nope, taking all the way.
Since you gave me the segue into the umpires, I'll Daryl Helmer on the plate from Airdrie, Alberta. Terry Richter from Sherwood Park, Alberta. And Steve Gallagher from Coburg, Ontario at third base.
An all-Canadian crew. As Anthony Brewer fighting back. Full count now to Anoka with Matthew Waugh at second, following a leadoff double. Second double of the game. And now Anoka draws a walk. And the other part is, too, Joe, that always does come into play. And I'm certainly more a believer in analytics today than I was even a couple of years ago. But there is a difference when you've gone through the order once and now, you know, especially of a pitcher that you've never seen before. There's Cole Evans, the batter.
And the guys on the bench that have been through that order, been gauging him on the bench, have been getting the timings down pat, seeing what he's throwing, seeing if there's any sequencing tricks.
Evans hit a ball sharply to third, but it was well handled by Kareem Kamano. Ball and a strike to Cole Evans. Two-time All-World player, including in 2024. Had a huge World Tournament in 2023. It was 10 for 23. 417, 5 homers, 8 runs batted in a Gremlins World Tournament title winning effort. Now does Cole have the green light?
Sure.
Yep, he did. And hit it to the same place, not as sharply. And Kamano takes care of business one more time for the first out of the third.
Now batting number 53 is Gina Winters.
So a pinch hitter and longtime member of the Gremlins, Zenon Winters, who has not had a lot of at-bats. Joe, the Gremlins have not played a lot of games as a team this year. Entered the night at 14-2.
Zenon just came over recently, too.
Yes, he did. He was in Oklahoma City. And there may have been a bit of an altercation between
potentially
two teams that just love one another, Hill United and the Gremlins, that he might have been out and involved in, but he wasn't alone. Not trying to single Zenon out.
Oh.
Remember watching Zenon for the first time when I had an opportunity to broadcast the 2009 then ISF World Men's Championship in Saskatoon. Did the final 2 games of that tournament on national television in Canada. And he was part of Australia's first ever gold medal winning performance. That in so many ways was Adam Folkert's coming out party at 23 and throwing about 88. Adam was okay in the ISC too.
Yes.
Only 10-time All-World. So his fellow countrymen, who they played together internationally a lot. Batting. And Brewers falling behind a lot of batters now.
Yeah.
Maybe he's tiring a little bit.
Brewers up to 60 pitches in the 3 innings.
And every pitch you throw, Joe, when you're playing against this lineup, it's a different feel and a different
Just
mindset.
takes that much
It
out of you.
does. So bases loaded for the Gremlins, trying to take the lead, and they'll certainly do that as it's dropped by Stanley in center. 2 runs will score, and it's 3-1. And the one thing you don't want to do against elite level teams is give them extra outs.
Yeah. He tried to cheat a little bit. He took his eye off the ball, wanted to see where that runner was going.
Yeah, Ryan was coming home with it before he had it.
Yeah.
And it's not an uncommon type of mistake, but Lucio Retamar and the Gremlins take advantage on the air to Stanley in center. And they add 2 runs and are back out in front. It is 3-1.
Yeah, the number one ingredient in that play is catch the ball first.
Always. But because you described it so well, Joe, that's what happened is Panuelos tried to hit it to Minneapolis. His first at-bat was an interesting one. He sent a ball back up the middle that didn't make its way too far into the outfield. And it is lush here, by the way. It knocks balls down, too. That's part of an adjustment as Brewer misses up to Panuelos. And Panuelos turned what looked like a routine single into a double. And he made it easily,
Yes.
I might add. As it's getting darker and darker in the park area. It's a scene out of a movie every once in a while when I look at my monitor. So 3-1, 1 out, and still trouble for the St. Paul Grey Ducks, who have acquitted themselves nicely early in the game. As this time Panuelos tries to lay down a bunt. He's also very versatile, Joe. Last year, primarily, he was in the outfield when he played, but with no Jerome Remicke, and I don't know if that's just early in the tournament. He was hit by a Marco Diaz pitch that led to that altercation I was referring to last weekend. I know he's here. Panuelos finds some green. And he has another hit. And this one drives in run number 4. Is Abelardo Panuelos off to a nice beginning at the ISC World Tournament.
Number 33, Ryan Breed.
Have not seen anyone warming up for St. Paul as of yet, as Brian Avery steps into the batter's box. He flew out to fairly deep right field, back in the second. There goes Panuelos. You don't have to check him for ability to run. That's a check mark.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good. So runners at second and third for Brian Avery. And Brian can play everywhere. Catch, third base, first base, outfield. Those guys are so valuable. And it's a reason, Joe, that he's been on this team for as long as he has, and Canada's national team.
Yeah. His versatility allows him the coaches to make that extra move.
Well, and with roster size shrinking, those guys are even more valuable when rosters are 15 or 16 players. That gets away from the catcher, Gabriel 3. As it bounced in front of him, he got a piece of it, but not enough. And another run, able to score for the Gremlins. Tom Youngbauer, coach and first base. I think he's having a word with his pitcher, Anthony Brewer, who's from South Dakota, Pine Ridge. I'll have to look up on the map tonight where Pine Ridge, South Dakota is. Either that or have Blair Setford beside you with a phone to potentially look it up. He's a helpful human. 5-1. Avery had a mighty cut. The 38-year-old from Richmond, British Columbia, fouled it away, and here comes the weather. Shortly.
Yes.
Apparently it's not far from Mount Rushmore. It's a Pine Ridge reservation. Brewer, an indigenous player, and there are so many of them in North America. They love this game in a lot of places in North America. The indigenous community, and great players too. As Anthony Brewer has acquitted himself very nicely. And it's an error by the center fielder that has extended this half inning. Brian Avery down at first now. And the batter is Nick Mullins, who has singled and driven in a run. He drove in their first run in the last inning. Gets away from the catcher again. We'll see how much longer the umpiring crew allows us to stay here. Frankly, it's getting a little bit on the scary side, as it is really whipping now.